Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our Wednesday webinar series. I'm your host, Garrett Anderson, the Marketing Director for Contract Furnishings. Today we're here in our Portland store, our cute, funky little Portland store with our Portland store manager, Patrick Von Pegert. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yes.
This guy has 33 years of experience both installing and selling carpet, the last 16 with CFM, so he knows a thing or two about this. We are going to be talking about padding, which is not the sexiest of topics, but is very, very important. So we're going to run through a lot of the things that we have stocked here, and talk about the pros and cons and really why it's important to make the appropriate selection for your project. So Patrick, again, thank you for joining us.
Yep. Thanks, Garrett.
Tell us why selecting the right pad is so important.
Well, Garrett, it's not seen. It's something under the carpet, and people look at the pretty colors and they want the feel of the carpet. But overall, you want something that's going to make the carpet last longer, and you've got something you've invested in, so you might as well put a little bit into what's going to make it last longer for you.
And this is really what is letting that carpet perform. That's what's supporting the backing so that your fiber isn't moving around, your backing isn't breaking down.
Absolutely.
So it's going to last as long as possible, in addition to how it feels underfoot.
It makes a big difference, and so much so that the manufacturers have given us an area of which we need to stay in to give them the performance that they want out of their carpets as well.
Now, is it true that you can increase the quality of your carpet by increasing the quality of your pad?
Yes. It doesn't necessarily have to be the top of the line padding. It just has to be within certain specifications. And the paddings that we sell are all within those specifications to keep your carpet's warranties active and the longevity of your carpet.
Right, and one of those is the thickness that we'll talk about a little bit. All of these are within that recommendation from the manufacturers of 3/8 to a 1/2 inch thick.
Right. Yep.
Now, why is that important?
Well, you know, if you're too thick, you want to get that cushion like you're on a big cloud, you can actually ruin the integrity of the carpet. You've got latex, you've got backings that stretch, and the more they stretch, the latex can start falling out of that backing, and then the fiber is not supported, and then that fiber will actually crush. So it's important that you don't get too thick. At the same time, if you're too thin, then your fiber is actually going to have a problem. It won't have the support either. And so you have to be within that standard that the manufacturers have done all of the research on, and they know it best. So we listen to them.
They've done more testing than you and I have.
A little bit more, yeah.
So I'll take their word for it. Let's start with a good entry level. This is our 6-pound Rebound. So what is this good for?
Well, you know, as you get into a job where you're looking at 2 to 5 years, you're thinking some apartments, or you see a lot of new construction trying to keep their dollar value down as low as they can. And they know that people are going to be moving into a house, and they're probably going to change out their carpet in that 3 to 5 year period. That's a good padding for that. It's going to give you a nice, good feel to it, but it's not going to give you the longevity of an 8-pound or better.
Right. So although this can feel really good to start out with, it doesn't have the long-term benefits, good memory to.
Yeah.
So it's going to start to show its wear.
It's going to feel great, but it's not going to have that wear.
So one way that you could upgrade that is just by going with a higher density of a foam Rebound pad. So this is an 8-pound compared to the 6-pound, same thickness.
Yes.
But it's denser.
Yeah. So they quantify that by taking a cubic foot of material, and they weigh that. And a 6-pound, it weighs at 6 pounds on that cubic foot, and 8 pounds is 8 pounds that cubic foot. So it's not thickness, it's density that you're talking about as you go up.
What about a 10-pound? I know some people come in asking for a 10-pound.
Well, you know, that's great because, you know, it's even more dense, but you can have it too dense. And again, your fiber needs to have some cushion so that you're not putting all the pressure on the fiber itself. There's a little bit of give. And I feel that a 10-pound is just a little bit too much density, a little too strong. And I think, you know, an 8 or a 9, those are going to be much better. The 10-pound, you won't have the comfort, and I don't think the carpet really gets a benefit from it.
Gotcha. Now this is a cool one. This is a charity pad. So from Shaw, we stock it. This is a moisture barrier on top, which is really nice. I know that some carpets have, you know, a backing or a fiber system that helps keep those spills and stuff from getting into the padding. But if you don't have that, this has it on the pad so that those spills aren't getting into your padding in your subfloor where you can't easily extract them out and clean them.
Exactly. Yeah, that helps quite a bit with the spills that you'll get, and they'll be able to take those out prior to them going into, like Garrett said, the padding itself or down in the backing of the subfloor, which then, you know, you're talking about a lot more damage.
And there's a little more consistency with this foam, right? There's
The memory foam is great. It's more consistent overall as you're walking across there, and it also is a little longer lasting. Not that the 8-pound won't do what you need, it's the workhorse. So 8-pound is a fantastic padding, but the memory foam is just a little stronger material than the regular extracted foams.
Gotcha. And then we got the top of the line here, Valencia. This is a rubber pad. Tell us about that.
Well, with rubber pad, you're switching to a different product. They don't go by the pounds, they actually go by ounces. So you hear a lot of times 100 ounce, 105 ounce. This is a 105 ounce pad, and the equivalency then, if you go to that cubic foot, is 21 pounds. So it's actually extremely heavy. But what you find that it has a little more cushion to it. So if you like the 6-pound feel, because boy, it feels good walking across there the first couple of days. But you want something that's going to last for the lifetime of your carpet and then some. That's where you switch up to the rubber pad. It's fantastic.
So this is great for your high traffic areas. Stairs take the most beating, so this is perfect there. Your hallways, and sort of active areas. Really, this is where you want to have the top line feel and longevity. If you're investing in a high quality carpet, you want to match it up with a high quality pad.
Yeah, for sure. And you're going to find there is a noticeable difference when you're walking on that pad. Sometimes you just want to have a little bit more cushion to your feel, but you don't want to again jeopardize the integrity of your carpet. That's the perfect pad.
All right, now let's talk about some area rugs. We're doing a lot more hard surface, and we'll talk about padding for that in a second. But with all that, you still want a little bit of a softness and more of a homey feel. So this is our area rug pad that we actually cut to fit your rug size. And we stock this in a number of our warehouses. This has two different sizes, you can see. It has this rubber backing side, which is your non-slip grip that goes against your flooring. So it protects that, keeps everything from slipping around. And then also has a fibrous side that is going to grip onto the backing of your carpet.
Yeah, and over time, the backing actually will make that fiber come up a little bit more and grab onto the carpet more. And so you don't have that walking that you get with some of the area rug pads that are made out of rubber and such. They don't grip onto the back of the carpet. So this is a fantastic area rug pad.
And you notice this is a much lower profile as well. You don't want to create a tripping hazard with your area rug. Getting something that's too thick and bulky, that could be a concern there too. So it still provides a nice soft feel, comfort, but keeps your rug from moving around. And we talk a little bit about commercial too. This is another thinner profile. It's our Fiber Touch. This is a commercial project or product. So Patrick, why don't you tell us a little bit about why this fits a commercial need?
The thing about the felt is it's going to be more dense. It's not going to have that cushion feel. But with commercial, you're talking about a much lower profile carpet. And it's also usually a woven carpet, which means that as you step on that carpet, sometimes the weave pulls from quite a distance, whereas a stitched carpet, you're stepping on it, you're just basically stepping right in that area only. With a woven carpet, you step on it and you're pulling from a distance, and that can ruin the integrity of the backing as well. It can break down the latex and cause some problems. So with the felt, it's a little lower profile and it's more dense, and so you're not getting as much of that motion. So you're not going to have as much cushion to it, but you are definitely going to get a fantastic pad for underneath a low profile commercial style.
Right, and a lot of commercial carpets can be glued down, but those can be a little bit more fatiguing if you're walking around on it all day. So having a dense pad underneath there can be a lot more comfortable without compromising the integrity of that construction of the carpet. And
also, I like using that felt pad for stairs. I think that you get, with stairs, you don't want to have too much motion in the stairs. Just as you're walking down, you want something that's a lot more stable, and that's going to give you that stability.
Let's talk about hard surface. It's very popular these days. There are requirements for your floating laminate or LVT with the SPC core, or even your engineered hardwood floors that you want to float. This is called our Eclipse Pad, and it is designed specifically for that. Much thinner foam profile. But what does this do?
Well, it's a dense, close molecular structured cell, so it absorbs noise as well as it stops noise from going through the product. That helps quite a lot. You know, you're not going to find a lot of differences in the paddings for underneath luxury vinyls or laminate floors, other than that density of the pad itself or the structure of it, and that's more about sound. So the sound that goes through the floor for condominiums, usually you have the IIC and STC ratings of the 52, 54, somewhere in there to qualify. This is going to be well into the 70s. It's going to qualify for the sound transmissions and the sound coming back at you. And so this is a fantastic pad. If it's not already attached to your floor, this is the way to go.
Right. The sound is a big thing. And not only is this helping absorb sound so you don't have that clicky kind of feeling with a floating floor that can often happen, you have something that feels a little bit more secure. Also, this is providing a nice smooth surface for your floor to expand and contract upon, which is very, very important. Yep. You don't want any pinch points on that. All these are really, really inexpensive. So you mentioned there's some cheaper options available probably in all of these.
There are, and especially when you look at something like that and you can get something maybe half the cost, but you're not talking about a lot of money to begin with for the padding. And you know, if I came back to you 2 years later and said, hey, I can make your floor sound 20-30% less clicky for $100, you'd pay it. So why not pay it up front before you have to rip it all up and do it again, do the whole thing over?
This is not, I would recommend, an area to skimp on. This is an area to upgrade, because we were talking about very, very small amounts relative to your overall project. So we're not always going to just the top of the line. We do want to find the right fit for you. It's not always this. It could be this for your lifestyle, could be this just because it's the best bang for your buck, or if you need to remove, or you plan on removing it and replacing it in a few years, then you save the money. So we have options. There are some options beyond this as well. We just happen to stock all of these because they fill all those different niches in all of our locations, including right here, which is our little store with a tiny warehouse. But we still have pads stocked right here.
It's the epicenter. This is the epicenter of CFM. But I want to touch on one point he mentioned. We're not always trying to upgrade you because we want to upgrade. We want to upgrade for a good reason, and we ask questions and we inquire as to what your needs are and what your wants are. But what you also have to remember is, if you put the carpet in now and you think, well, for now I'm going to just use some 8-pound and save a little bit of money, and then 3 years later you're like, I kind of think I would have liked to go this direction. You can't. It's a little late. So think about that upgrade a little bit just for your needs, and if it's right, I'd make the change and do it.
Yeah. If you do have your heart set on something else, we definitely do special orders pretty consistently. But again, we think that these are going to fill all your needs. If you have any questions, that's what we're here for. We always want to work with a professional to find the right fit for you. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to give us a call or stop on by, and we'd be happy to make the right fit for you. Patrick, thank you again for joining us.
You bet.
Go Beavs. We'll get you a new mask soon. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.